Hey everyone, this is Celina. Now the other day I showed you my kale microgreens, and today I'm going to show you how to actually make them at your own house. So let's get right to it. Now I have here a regular to-go container that I've filled with a potting soil mix of like half coconut coir, half potting soil. It's not too hot, meaning that it is not very nitrogen rich. It's just real basic. But it is not soil from the outside. You don't want that. So you don't want very high nitrogen because it will burn the plants, prevent them from growing, because they're just little babies. They just need a little TLC, not all the other stuff. So in order to go from, this empty pile of dirt to a beautiful lush garden of microgreen kale, we need to get some seeds. Now, everyone has their own preference on where they buy their seeds from. I get mine from Everwild Farms. They're located out in Wisconsin. And so far, they're pretty reasonably priced. Most of the seeds actually propagate, which I think it has like a 90% live ratio, which is really good. So I have a 1/4 pound of Red Russian Kale microgreens. They are organic and they're meant for sprouting. Now, it doesn't really matter too much if you're going to grow them all the way to maturity, if they're organic or not. I use organic soil and I make sure all my water is clean because, I'm planning on eating them. So organic sprouting seeds are important because you're eating them while they're babies. So you might still eat some of that whole, that seed. So that's the biggest dividing point right there. Anyways, so organic, sprouting, Red Russian Kale. And now I have here, let's put this big old bag down. I have here a ground cinnamon container, and that is because it'll help evenly disperse the seeds. You see the holes here? And I'm not sure how many seeds I have in here necessarily. I basically just take this and I'm going to evenly coat all the way across, and I'll show you a close-up if possible. It might just be a picture, but you want to get as many seeds across as possible because I have been experimenting with this, and you don't want them too close together because then they start to compete with one another, but you don't want them too sparse either because then you're wasting the whole tray, and what's the whole point? As you saw in the other seed tray there, they're very close together, and that is because I am, taking a knife, cutting all the way across, and then just taking out whole bundles. Like, who eats one little kale microgreen or, 5? You want a bunch. So make sure to spread them on there pretty liberally. The whole key here is to get it all the way across, and I try to not let any soil be seen here. So we're almost there. All right, I want to call that good. Now I have plenty of seeds left, not to mention the whole 1/4 pound. So I don't know if you can see this necessarily. I might wind up taking a better picture, but it's spread evenly across, a nice thin layer, and the seeds are not on top of each other. That is the key point there when making sure that it's spread evenly throughout the soil, is that you don't want them to be on top of each other. That's how you get rot. So what I have here is not chemicals, I hope not. It's just filtered water that I get from the store, and that's because I don't have a filtration system built in just yet, but I will one day. So you go through here, just mist the top, and that is why I make sure that my soil is pre-soaked. It's a little too soupy for my liking, but it is what it is. It seems to dry out pretty quickly. And now all I'm going to do is cover it with some tin foil, shove it in a back closet here so that it stays nice, warm, and dark. Now I typically leave it in the dark for about 3 or 4 days. I'll show you the progress and let you know when I take it off. That way you can kind of judge it for yourself too. Because you want it to be a little leggy, meaning long, in order for you to be able to cut it down. Otherwise you get a bunch of dirt in your mouth and that's not tasty. So that was day 1 with the seeds. I will give you a progress report throughout the week and hopefully by the end of it, you'll be able to make your own. So make sure to like and subscribe my videos. This was Celina. Take care, and I will see you next time.